when you're done with looking at the data and what you're learning, you need to then move back into the human space. I mean, that's so simple, but so powerful.
Yeah, and sometimes I have the feeling we forgot this,
I've forgotten that. I just realized that listening to you. You continue with the graphs and the pie charts and the strategies, and it's like, oh shoot, there's humans in the middle of this. Yeah. Frank, I am so happy to talk to you.
Likewise.
One of the things is I'm so impressed that you look at the workplace and you're like, okay, here's an area of discomfort, which is navigating the issues of inequity and exclusion in the workplace, which tend to exist in all workplaces, I think, and somehow turning that into a positive. So how do you think leaders can navigate that discomfort productively?
Yeah, so thank you for the question, and I agree with you. It's really interesting to see, that there is discomfort and it's everywhere, and the question is, are you just looking at the positive things and celebrating the good things, or also you challenging the organization with the uncomfortable truths, so the discomfort. And we decided for the area of inclusion, so diversity, equity, inclusion, so that we will also, confront our people and our leaders especially with the uncomfortable truths. And we support them for sure, so to manage it in a way that we give them some guidance, a kind of framework, what they can do with their people to navigate through this I would say cultural shift we are going through, because as an organization we became independent last year, and now we find our way. We need to find our place in some areas, and as well in the area of diversity, equity, inclusion. We really need to work on some topics, and with a clear framework, with clear guidance, we support our leaders.
Mm-hmm. Can you? I love that so much that. Could you share a practical example on how that comes to life?
So the framework is based on the idea of human needs. So we're using the work from Dietze and Ryan, so the self-determination theory, and the human needs they describe. So it's well researched, so a lot of insights are already there, and we decided to use this very simple framework for our leaders to give them some guidance. So that means first, leaders need to recognize that they work with individuals. So all their directs, all the people are different. They have different interests, different wishes, potential talents, development opportunities and needs. And this is what they need to figure out to work with. And then in the next step, and this is really focused on the three needs, they should first build trust and connection, because this is referring to the need of belonging, and they need to find a way to bring the people together, to that everyone finds his place in the team, but also to collaborate with each other. And this is also, by the way, one of our values, our company values, to collaborate with each other, because it's really important for us as an organization to collaborate and find new ways for people, for our patients to get access to our products, our medicine. The second is then to strengthen this self and co-determination. And this is about autonomy. So as I said, everyone is individuals. So it's important to see, how people can control their area of responsibility, their work. So that's an important part. And third, it's about promoting growth and development. So it's really about giving opportunities for people to grow in their area, but also in the company. And that we hope and that we think brings a positive work environment, which is important for our people to thrive, but also for the leaders to be successful with their teams, and at least to be successful as an organization.
That I love how human-centered that is. It's all about responding to your team members and who they are and customizing to them. So until our team members are AI or robots or something, it seems like a really productive way to go, and a great place to work, actually, just your description. Yeah. Do you when you're doing this work around the challenges that inequality and that exclusion create in the workplace, does that work in itself create any tension, like with like employee engagement or with other aspects of the culture?
So employee engagement is an interesting word for me, because this is what we use. We use the results of our culture and engagement survey, and this also helps us to identify our goals in this area a little bit, because we see what kind of feedback we receive from our people, the quantitative and qualitative feedback.
Oh, nice.
And this we use, as the uncomfortable truths to confront our leaders, but also teams or countries with these data.
Right.
And then it comes very fast back to the people, that we say, okay, yes, here are some numbers, and they show us something is not okay or something we can improve, but then let's focus on the people and on the human, and put it back, the human in the center. And this is, and you mentioned it, and it's so close to my heart, to really focus in our fast-moving, complex world, really on the person, on the human, on the of the team. So that's something what we try to really want to bring back into the work.
I'm going to remember that. I spend a lot of time analyzing data, and I love how you added that step that when you're done with looking at the data and what you're learning, you need to then move back into the human space. I mean,
Exactly.
That's so simple, but so powerful.
Yeah, and sometimes I have the feeling we forgot this,
I've forgotten that. I just realized that listening to you.
Yeah.
You continue with the graphs and the pie charts and the strategies, and it's like, oh shoot, there's humans in the middle of this. Yeah.
And this is always what my team and I, what we do when we go into sessions with our leaders, if it's a country management team or other context, when we confront them with the data, we then really first go back to the people, to their experiences, to their context, say, okay, what do you think? What does it mean for your people? What can you do, that what can you change so that people feel better or can move from this to that position, whatever it is,
Yeah. I love all the nuggets that you have shared. Is there anything else that you think people should know right off the bat to navigate all these challenges around exclusion and inequality and get to a better place?
Yeah, I think what is also important is to acknowledge that these uncomfortable truths is there. It's normal, it's part of the life, and it's something what we have to acknowledge, and then also to allow to experiment a little bit, to explore, and these spaces where they can discuss, where they can reflect and better understand, and then also try out a little bit. So this is what we offer, what we how we help them to navigate through this I would say journey, becoming on the one hand get the ability to work with this discomfort, but also getting feeling more comfortable in the future, to face it and to look into these diverse perspectives, these different areas, when it comes to inequality and exclusion, for example, and not being cautious or not thinking, okay, this is something what I can touch. So no, it's normal. It's part of our organizations, part of our life, of societies, and we want to create these spaces where people can talk about it in an open manner. Wow,
that's beautiful. So what can I do to work with your team? That sounds fantastic. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about our concept. Thank you.
What a
very much.
pleasure.